Imagine tiny molecules controlling your mood, energy, and even memories. What if everything you thought about carbs was wrong? Discover the shocking truth about carbohydrates and how they secretly run your life. Subscribe now to uncover the complete story behind nature's most controversial energy source. Picture this. It's early morning, and millions of people across the globe are reaching for their first cup of coffee while simultaneously checking their smartwatches for blood sugar levels. In our modern world obsessed with health metrics, carbohydrates have become both celebrated and demonized, often reduced to mere numbers on nutritional labels. Yet beneath this simplistic view lies an extraordinary biochemical ballet that has been sustaining human civilization since our earliest ancestors began cultivating grains thousands of years ago. Carbohydrates aren't just fuel. They're sophisticated molecular architects shaping our daily existence in ways science is only beginning to fully comprehend. From the moment sunlight touches chlorophyll in plants, initiating photosynthesis, to the complex metabolic pathways within our cells, these organic compounds embark on an incredible journey through ecosystems and human physiology alike. Consider how ancient civilizations built their entire agricultural systems around carbohydrate-rich staples. Rice paddies terracing Asian mountainsides, maize fields stretching across Mesoamerican landscapes, wheat fields swaying in Mediterranean breezes. Each culture developed unique methods to process and consume these vital nutrients, creating culinary traditions that persist to this day. But what exactly happens when these seemingly simple sugars enter our bodies? The process begins in our mouths, where specialized enzymes in saliva immediately start breaking down complex carbohydrates into simpler forms. This initial step sets off a cascade of biological events that extends far beyond mere digestion, triggering hormonal responses that influence everything from our mental alertness to emotional well-being. Modern research has revealed that certain carbohydrates can actually communicate with our gut microbiome, establishing symbiotic relationships that affect not only our physical health, but also our mental state through what scientists now call the gut-brain axis. As we delve deeper into the science of carbohydrates, we uncover fascinating connections between these essential nutrients and fundamental aspects of human experience, from memory formation to social behavior patterns established around shared meals throughout history. The story of carbohydrates isn't merely about nutrition. It's about understanding how these molecules have shaped human evolution, culture, and consciousness itself. As we trace the path of carbohydrates through the human body, we encounter a remarkable system of molecular processing that would make any industrial engineer envious. Once carbohydrates pass through the stomach, they enter the small intestine where teams of specialized enzymes work in concert to break down complex structures into their basic components, primarily glucose, fructose, and galactose. These simple sugars then face perhaps their most crucial checkpoint, the intestinal wall, where transporter proteins act as selective gatekeepers, determining which molecules gain entry into the bloodstream. This process is far from random. It's regulated by an intricate network of hormones and signaling molecules that maintain precise control over blood sugar levels. Insulin emerges as the primary conductor of this metabolic orchestra, directing glucose molecules toward their destinations in muscle tissue, fat cells, or the liver. But here's where the narrative takes an unexpected turn. Recent studies reveal that different types of carbohydrates trigger distinct responses in our bodies. While refined sugars rush into the bloodstream like eager sprinters, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar, complex carbohydrates from whole foods release their energy more gradually, akin to marathon runners pacing themselves. This distinction has profound implications for our health, affecting everything from energy stability throughout the day to long-term risk factors for chronic diseases. Moreover, the timing of carbohydrate consumption proves to be just as critical as the type. Our circadian rhythms influence how efficiently we process these nutrients, with morning consumption typically leading to better metabolic outcomes compared to late-night indulgence. The liver plays a particularly fascinating role in this drama, acting as both storage facility and conversion center. Excess glucose gets transformed into glycogen reserves, ready to be mobilized during periods of fasting or intense activity. When these stores become depleted, the body must resort to alternative energy sources, potentially breaking down muscle tissue, a scenario that underscores the importance of maintaining balanced carbohydrate intake. Even more intriguing is the discovery that certain indigestible carbohydrates, known as fiber, serve as nourishment for beneficial gut bacteria, promoting a healthy microbiome that influences numerous aspects of our well-being, from immune function to mental health. This complex interplay between carbohydrates and various bodily systems demonstrates why simplistic approaches to nutrition often fail. Our relationship with these essential nutrients is anything but straightforward. The impact of carbohydrates extends far beyond basic metabolism, weaving itself into the very fabric of human cognition and emotion. Recent neurological research has uncovered compelling evidence that glucose availability directly affects brain function, influencing everything from decision-making abilities to emotional regulation. The brain, despite comprising only about 2% of body weight, consumes approximately 20% of available glucose under normal conditions, highlighting its exceptional energy demands. This dependency creates a delicate balance. Too little glucose leads to cognitive impairment and mood disturbances, while excessive amounts can trigger inflammation and oxidative stress. Particularly fascinating is the role carbohydrates play in memory formation and learning processes. Specific neurons in the hippocampus appear to respond differently based on blood glucose levels, suggesting that our ability to retain information might be closely linked to our carbohydrate consumption patterns. This connection becomes especially relevant in educational settings and professional environments where sustained mental performance is crucial. Furthermore, carbohydrates interact with neurotransmitter systems in ways that significantly affect mood and behavior. For instance, the amino acid tryptophan, whose transport across the blood-brain barrier is influenced by carbohydrate intake, serves as a precursor to serotonin, often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. This explains why many people experience improved mood after consuming carbohydrate-rich meals, though the effect varies depending on the specific type and timing of consumption. The cultural significance of carbohydrates takes on new meaning when viewed through this neurological lens. Traditional practices of communal eating, often centered around carbohydrate-rich dishes, may have evolved partly due to their positive effects on group dynamics and social bonding. Modern dietary trends that emphasize extreme carbohydrate restriction sometimes overlook these important psychosocial aspects, potentially impacting not just individual health but also community well-being. As we continue to unravel the complex relationship between carbohydrates and human physiology, it becomes increasingly clear that these molecules represent more than just a source of calories. They are integral to our cognitive functioning, emotional stability, and social connectivity. Understanding this multifaceted role allows us to approach nutrition with greater nuance and appreciation for the delicate balance that sustains human life. If you found this exploration of carbohydrates enlightening, consider subscribing to our channel for more in-depth investigations into the fascinating world of human biology and nutrition. Your support helps us continue uncovering the hidden stories behind what makes us tick, one molecule at a time.